How We Create Reality, a tutorial by Al Smith. Do you wonder why life is a chaotic roller coaster of both positive and negative events? Have you, like most, earnestly tried positive thinking, meditation, or prayer without any tangible beneficial results? Do you stress over your quietly desperate realization that you have little control over your own life? Don't you wish you had a magical power to change your life and the lives around you for the better? Well, the good news is that you do. After listening to this a few times, you'll understand the natural forces that create our individual and collective realities. You'll comprehend that we all have the same ability to use these forces for good or for evil. You'll begin to see these forces at work everywhere. You'll learn to control, focus, amplify, and correctly use your personal power with ease. You'll start to reap the rewards you've always sought but never found. It won't require your belief or faith, which comes with practice. And it doesn't even require any real effort on your part, though faith and making physical steps toward your goals will help them to manifest faster. It's as easy as daydreaming. Your understanding of this knowledge will make you begin to naturally and automatically think in new ways that will make your future as you'd like it to be. It's really not hard at all. Wrap your mind firmly around this concept. We each wield enormous power throughout each day of our lives. We control powerful forces of which most of us are totally unaware. Your power can create good or bad future events for yourself, for your friends and family, and for all of humanity. Here's the problem. We unwittingly create positive and negative, life-giving and even potentially fatal events in the future. Without knowledge of this power, using it is like playing Russian roulette with the engine of the universe. And our individual realities and the realities of everyone we think about are the direct results of our control, lack of control, use, or abuse of our awesome individual powers. But once we understand our power, we naturally tend to use it for our benefit and for the common good. So, seriously examine your power and learn to use it to help yourself and everyone you love to become the best originals you can be. Your subconscious mind is in continuous contact with the subconscious minds of everyone else alive today, and possibly with all minds on other planes at all times throughout the universe. The collective subconscious controls the omnipotent, omnipresent quantum field. It envelops everything, powers the atoms, and manifests our holographic universe. And your individual mind, while in the alpha level awareness or daydream state, is your personal control console for the collective subconscious. It's your key to your personal power and what everyone must learn to control for posterity's sake. The collective subconscious does not understand words or languages. There are too many languages and too many ways to define words. It only understands your mental images, the original universal language. The mental images you consciously or unconsciously design or imagineer onto your mental screen are totally understood by the collective subconscious. Images are clearly understood by the field. In other words, your daydreams largely dictate your reality. The quantum field interprets your daydreams as your desired future reality. It figures that you wouldn't spend so much time daydreaming about it unless you wanted it in your life. Your future is largely a reflection of the most recurrent images you've displayed on your mind's screen and mental images produced by those who know you. The more time you mentally image a thing, the greater its chances of materializing into your reality. Think of daydreams as votes for events to happen in your future. It's the only true democracy. And it's perpetually happening inside everyone's head all day long throughout the universe. To use your power with any degree of control, your conscious mind must communicate with the collective subconscious, or place your order, in its own language, in deliberate mental images. Words and thoughts have no effect on reality, except to paint mental images in our minds. It's our images, our imaginings, that program reality. They are the universal language expressed by all intelligent beings and understood by the quantum field. You must also learn how to edit out your negative daydreams. I'll tell you how briefly. Don't confuse night dreams with daydreams. Night dreams are born from random splashes of unrelated images from your mind's image storehouse upon your mental screen. You're asleep. So your subconscious mind is unchained from the false restrictions and limitations normally imposed on it by your conscious mind. While asleep, your subconscious mind is free to recreate by fully exercising its enormous power to connect unrelated images into some sort of continuity or story. Meaning can't be deciphered from night dreams, because images have different meanings to different people. Nightmares have no real power over you or your future unless you assign power to them. Your daydreams, on the other hand, are the programs or the code of the creation of your future. The things you imagine, lament, desire, grieve about, gripe about, hash over, resent, anticipate, hope for, hate, love, regret, etc., most frequently are the things of which your future will be composed. Until you learn to manage these images, life will be a chaotic mess of good and bad events and repeats of past negative experiences. Likewise, our collective daydreams, the images most common to the mind of mankind, program our collective future reality locally and globally. The reason everything is chaotic is because we entertain a chaotic mix of good and bad daydreams, unaware that we are causing our chaotic personal and collective realities. No wonder everything is a mess. Albert Einstein was credited as saying, "Imagination is more important than knowledge. We must learn to control our imagination." Creating positive daydreams. The duration of an image you host on your mental screen isn't very significant. Only the quantity matters. So, rather than make up a 20-minute movie with great detail that you must labor to recall, make up a 2 or 3 second scene that's easy to remember, and keep it simple. The less complicated your daydream is, the less difficult it is for the collective subconscious, or the quantum field, to orchestrate events to make it happen. Lots of my personal daydream programs are at night, to limit content and detail. If it's simple, it can happen faster. And consciously re-daydream. Repeat your imagineered beneficial mental scenes as often as possible. The collective subconscious is an automaton, a machine with strict functions. It powers the electrons that create the holography we call reality. It automatically assumes the mental images you entertain most frequently are the things you want in your future. The images held most frequently before your mind's eye are absorbed by the collective subconscious, which then scores the collective will with your will. engineering future influences and pathways accordingly to one day enable your either intentionally or unintentionally programmed scene to materialize into your future, unless it was against the collective will. Most of the time, collective will doesn't weigh in much because we imagine more personal things for which there is no collective opposition. The collective subconscious does not qualify your daydreams as good or bad. It only quantifies them. Negative or positive, it'll manifest exactly what you or we program it to make, unless you lose your area's democratic vote. And it requires no faith or belief. You can do it skeptically, which will just slow down the materialization. How to edit negative daydreams. To improve our lives, we must not only create positive daydreams, we must first edit our negative daydreams. In their absence, there's more space and time for your many shorter positive images, which you willfully create for your benefit. This process reverses negative trends in our personal lives, and it's easy. The same process, done collectively, could reverse the negative local, national, or global trends that we collectively unwittingly create, and then sentence ourselves to endure and hopefully survive. Before you begin to fully exercise this power for your benefit, you must first learn how to negate and prevent negative images from recurring on your mental screen. Editing your daydreams is simple. It's best to delete negative images as they occur on your mind screen. This prevents them from coming back to mind and from negatively influencing your future. This exercise cancels your request to the collective subconscious to manufacture the negative events of the bad image you've imagined. To successfully delete a negative daydream, once again, you must do so in the collective subconscious's own language. When you catch yourself daydreaming a negative image, first freeze it on your mind screen. Then, with your imaginary paintbrush, draw a sloppy black circle around it. Next, draw a nasty black X through the circle. Lastly, imagine tossing the whole picture spinning upwards out of your mind, away from the planet like a frisbee. Now you've told your subconscious, in its own language, to delete the bad image and negate any negative influence it may have had on your future, and also to never again entertain that image or images like it. A recurring negative image that has frequented your mind many times may require you to repeat this technique several times. Remember, you are the gatekeeper of your mind. You can choose what to imagine and what not to imagine. At some point, you'll find yourself alarmed that you can't remember the negative image you've just deleted seconds ago. You'll feverishly try to remember it until you do. Then you'll have to do it again. Circle it, X it, and toss it up and out of your mind. You'll soon learn to ignore this bad dream amnesia, settling for the happy knowledge that you've cleaned your mental house. And if you can't freeze an image or easily recall it, don't worry. Just circle and X the blank space after the negative image leaves your mental screen. Then toss that upwards and out of your mind. It's almost as effective. And your ability to freeze images will improve with practice. Also, you may remember having entertained a negative image without canceling it out in the past. As you recall the image, circle it and exit. Your past. Many negative thoughts are memories of bad events and circumstances from your past. Think of them as unwanted baggage. They anchor you, slowing or preventing your forward progress. By frequently recalling negative images from your past, you're blocking positive images with a logjam of past negative images. Also, the source power sees your repeated mental images of your past as your order for your future, making your tomorrows resemble your yesterdays, condemned to repeat mistakes, reliving horrors of the past. Each time they recur, freeze them, circle them, X them, and toss them up and out. This cuts the strings from negative experiences. Once you've learned the lessons from the past, you need not remember the bad events. So toss them out and go on with your life. You can also visualize your most traumatic past negative events as enormous weights or baggage chained to your ankles. Then just mentally cut the chains and shackles away. Feel yourself accelerate away from the weight of the bad baggage. Begrudge the huge pile of the worst times of your life as it disappears behind you down a mental road into your past, where it belongs. Learn the lessons as quickly as you can. Then slash the ties and move on. Now you have more free time and space for positively imagineering your better future. Become grudgeless to limit negative images from the past. Forgive all your past enemies and adversaries. Love them, but pity them. They, like you, are only the result of their genetic origin, their experience, and their reactions to their experience. Like most of us, they're only using their limited conscious resources to try and get along as best as they can in this weary old race. If they had the knowledge of all the secrets in the universe, they wouldn't have wronged you. So realize their humanity. Totally forgive them and lovingly delete your negative images of them from your mind. This frees up a lot of future mental time during which you may entertain new, positive images, custom imagineered by you. And it frees up your old enemies to evolve. Your present. Negative thoughts of where you are now endorse your entrapment. Edit them and negate them. Then replace them with images of where you will be, enabling you to aspire to that new place to be who you are becoming. You can image with your eyes open or closed. Mainly, attempt at the most vivid image you can muster. You don't have to continue to be what you have been. It's your choice. Today really is the first day of the rest of your life because you're now learning the knowledge to set you free. You are a work in progress. Live in the now. More fully experience and appreciate the present as you willfully, mentally create your better future. You can't change the past, but you can file it away to prevent it from becoming the pattern for your future. To make room for a great future, you must release your old past. Learn its lessons. Make the best choices you can in the present while imagining your future as you like, relentlessly. When you begin to get over your past, you begin to become more fully aware of the present, enabling you to more often stop and smell the roses. Remember that complaining about something you hate makes emotionally powerful mental images of that thing you despise. Images sent to the collective subconscious on an order form with the signature of your soul. This, of course, only creates more of what you hate in your future. Observation is manifestation. So as best as you can, ignore everything around you that you don't like. You quickly get better at all this with practice. You'll see that as you ignore the bad, it dissipates and fades into the background. Griping about it is like picking a sore so it never heals, or worse, gets infected. By praising and being grateful for the good things you have, you're imagineering more like them in your future. So count all your blessings often, no matter how small. And take the time to feel and express gratitude and appreciation for others' blessings, even if they're adversaries. This spreads the good programming by making them see the good in themselves or the good they've accomplished and appreciate it. It also softens their opinion of you and forms a good bond between you. Be in the moment. Finish a task before starting another. Prevent stress by tripling the amount of time you estimate it will take you to fulfill obligations. Then, if you take 3 times as long as you committed, you got it done on time. And if it only takes you twice your estimated time, you're a hero. Recall only memories that make you feel good. Never imagine yourself as a victim or a loser or host any negative mental self-images without instantly taking a few seconds to delete them. Install an imaginary alarm in your mind that sounds off whenever an image occupies your mental screen that makes you feel bad, automatically triggering that paintbrush. As you edit negative images, you'll experience an ever-increasing sense of freedom from them. And freedom is power. If you want to feel better, eliminate your negative mental images. As you put this knowledge into practice, you'll begin to mentally dwell on more positive things, which makes them materialize. If you don't like a thought, negate it. Then dwell on something better. You can choose what to think. What you see with your mind's eye is what you get. So if what you see is what you get, see better. Edit your daydreams all day long, every day. Get in the habit. Look for the good around you and the good in others and in the environment, and appreciate all of it. Forgive yourself, and then you can more fully love yourself, so others can forgive you and love you too. The universe is infinitely abundant. It can supply everything that everyone needs and wants. So know that you have a right to have everything you need and want. You have the right to be happy. Release the old to make space for the new. Focus more and more on what you desire and less on any negative current realities or past calamities. Realize that mediocrity always attacks excellence. Reverse the polarity of others' jealousy by praising their accomplishments and those of everyone around you. Then you'll also be more eligible for accomplishment and for praise for your achievements. And forgive the jealousy of others, imagining them to be praiseful instead. Refuse to believe the bad in others. Mentally replace it with good, thereby helping them to become better. This isn't a mystical ceremony. It happens all day long in your mind, while driving, walking, or doing anything repetitive. You're just not applying any discipline to it now. Now, you know how to self-discipline your imagination. When a crisis happens, ask what lesson it's trying to teach you, then learn that lesson to end that crisis. Mentally project love to yourself and to all around you. Try this in a traffic jam and witness people stop competing. Provide value and service to the world to receive value and service. Be the change you want to see in the world. Don't forget to daily affirm your love for yourself and your forgiveness for your imperfections, human frailties, and mistakes, to release yourself from your past to speed up the manifestation of your future. Develop the attitude of always striving to be a better you. Don't compete against others. This can only make you become a poor copy of what you perceive others to be. That's a pitiful telemetry. Only compete against your own record of achievement. This makes you become a better, original you. Mental Imaging Tutorial. Create your mental images or programs of your future desired events from the perspective of being in the event at that future time, looking out of your own eyes at it unfolding before you. If you're having trouble imagining something, think back to a time when you looked out a window into a cold world and lost yourself in a daydream about a warm paradise. Then put yourself in that state and imagineer your daydream. No trance state is necessary, no ceremony. It's simply daydreaming while you drive or walk or do any boring activity. Also, don't be too specific when composing the daydream. The more details you add to your daydream, the more strings must be pulled throughout your world in order to manifest your daydream into reality. Make your visual order easy for the quantum field to fulfill. Make your daydream orders short and memorable so they're easy to replicate, just a few seconds long. And then repeat them as often as you can until they've manifested. But be careful what you imagine, because if you imagine it often enough, you will get it. And you may not like it when it happens, because your daydream reality may be complicated with unforeseen negative consequences. This is why it's best to imagine an unavoidable result or effect of the reality you want, a result that would necessarily have to happen to enable your desired reality, rather than imagining a specific event. This gives the collective subconscious more avenues through which it can accomplish the event, hence manifesting your reality sooner. And it may even engineer a better event than you'd planned with your limited conscious mind. An example of this would be a strategy to have a more enjoyable and profitable occupation. You may think that you'd enjoy being a jeweler, for example. So you program that reality relentlessly. Mysteriously, you somehow enter that profession and then realize you hate it. Here's the problem. You don't know what every occupation on Earth entails. You are your own worst critic. You consciously know yourself least of all. You don't know what undiscovered talents or phobias you have, and you don't know if the people you'll work with are compatible. So consciously, it would be almost impossible for you to determine the best possible job for you. Your subconscious has access to all knowledge. So don't program being in a specific job. Instead, imagine the effects of having a job that you love. One way you might do this would be to imagine your alarm clock waking an extremely excited and happy you to the opportunity of the day. Imagine yourself gracing the alarm clock with a soft stroke to turn it off, rather than knocking it off the nightstand and onto the floor into pieces, as can happen when you hate your job. Imagine you bounding out of bed, fully rested, happy, energetic, and eager to get to work. This enables the omnipresent collective subconscious to engineer you into the occupation most likely to make you happy, the job that's best suited to you and all your natural abilities, limitations, penchants, needs, likes, dislikes, quirks, preferences, and talents. And it well may be an occupation you've never even considered. Imagine you driving, shading your eyes from the glare off the new paint, smelling the new car smell with a huge grin on your face. Imagine it relentlessly. You'll probably have to have a pretty great job or come into some money for that reality to occur. Here are 3 other examples of imagineering the effect of a future event you desire rather than the actual event. To manifest someone to love, don't imagine you coupled up with a specific person, as that person may be totally wrong for you, leading to unhappiness or worse. Don't waste time. It's too precious and too limited. What you want is one who will make you feel elated, whose company you'll thoroughly enjoy. One who shares your feelings, likes, dislikes, and one you don't mind showing off in public. Make creating the reality easy for the collective subconscious by limiting the ingredients of the daydream. Imagine you're walking slowly in a public place with your arm around someone, laughter and voices, with tinkling of dinnerware. Your head is raised, eyes closed, mouth open, laughing hilariously at your new partner's quick wit. A tear streaks down your face as you experience the love, relief, and gratitude of knowing that the one you're holding is the most compatible partner you've ever had. The daydream didn't even have an image of this unfound lover. It takes 2 or 3 seconds and leaves all the decisions to the collective subconscious. You don't care who it is, only that he or she makes you feel this way. Or to imagine an influx of much-needed money. Imagine yourself happily skipping up the steps of your bank, stress-free, or simply patting your pocket with pride, excited to deposit the wad of money into your account, or to cash the check, or pay the bill, exhilarated with joy over your newfound prosperity. It's just an image of you looking out of your own eyes down at your feet, negotiating some steps, or a walkway with a lot of joyous emotion connected to the image. It takes seconds. To give yourself temporary immortality while simultaneously preventing the loss of any of your limbs during your long life, from time to time, imagine you sitting in a porch swing, looking down with your own eyes at your own aged, frail, wrinkled, liver-spotted hands resting clasped in your own lap. Feel the warm sun shining on you as you look out on the beautiful landscape in your visual field. Feel your hands against your thighs as you push with the tips of both shoes to make the porch swing gently sway back and forth. And experience the satisfaction of having had a full and rewarding life. Do this fairly frequently, and it will make you immortal until that day arrives, and make your life rewarding. With this technique, I've survived many circumstances which should have killed me, some in third world countries. You must repeat these images often to ensure their realization, and those who do not imagine their futures, or for whom no one else imagines a future, may have no future at all. How we affect each other's lives. The images we have of others also affect their lives as much, or possibly even more than their own images of themselves and their futures. As stated previously, the collective subconscious is democratically controlled. People who know you can unwittingly keep you trapped in your past, continuously being who you have been, even if you use this information to its fullest extent. As stated previously, the collective consciousness, the primary source of everything, doesn't qualify our images, it only quantifies them. and everyone's images count equally toward what becomes real in the future. So, if you have many friends who continuously think about you, imagining pictures of who you were the last time they saw you, you can relentlessly dream of yourself as who you intend to become to no avail. In some mystic disciplines, a seeker is instructed to escape his or her personal history in order to escape the social imagery of himself that would conflict with the seeker's new path. A stranger in a strange land can pretend to be anyone, and those who the stranger meets only have the stranger's word for who he or she is. So they imagine the stranger to be who they purport to be, aiding the stranger's transition into becoming who he or she will be. If, however, you can't escape your personal history, you can do the next best thing. Fake it until you make it. Tell everyone you know exactly who you are becoming. Describe the person you're becoming to them. Tell them to expect you to become that other person very soon. Then, constantly imagine yourself as having changed into that new person. As your friends see you making little changes in that direction, they start imagining, what if he does become this new person, with the mental images to go along with that speculation. Say things that make them imagine you to be that person. Continue repeating your short visual skits of who you intend to become or the reality you intend to manifest. And enact every change that you imagine yourself capable of enacting as quickly as possible. Make sure that all who know you see your changes in progress. Keep grinning until you're winning. When you maintain a sly grin on your face, people around you imagine all sorts of good things that may be happening to you to make you grin so much. Happiness attracts success, mainly because most successful people are generally miserable. So when you appear to be happy continuously, regardless of your circumstances, eventually you'll have the success or ample reason to be as happy as you pretend to be. Your future feels very familiar. Each time your self-programmed future events manifest into your reality, the collective subconscious notifies you of this event by inducing the déjà vu feeling upon you. It's not saying, you've been here before. It's saying, remember this program? Your order is now being served. But this feeling of familiarity can sometimes come over you when your surroundings are nothing like the daydream program you've been repeating in your mind. That's because it's not the actual event, but an indication of a doorway leading to the event, perhaps telling you which fork in the road to take. So whenever you're in an unfamiliar situation, but you're feeling déjà vu, pay careful attention to everything around you see if you can feel which doorway or path you need to take. But generally, the déjà vu feeling happens when you're in the actual event you've been programming. And the more times you've daydreamed the image, the stronger the déjà vu feeling will be when it happens. So, now you know there is something you can do about everything you dislike. Never again can you say, what can I do about it? Sweet daydreams, edit them carefully. And please, share this with everyone.